Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
I still can't quite see you. It's the worst. Okay, how about like this? Hi, everybody. My name's Andy Kindler. How do you want me to do it? Should I do 65 degrees? Is that how you want to test the sound?
No, I think we're tested.
Okay, good.
How are you?
I'm okay. That opening bit did not go as well as I thought it would.
No, that's why it doesn't exist anymore.
Now, here's another funny thing. The old wandering headphone. Talk now.
But now you've thrown off your mic.
Josh, this is better?
No, toggle.
Oh, you mean like toggle it to turn it on? Oh. Would you stop saying toggle?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Okay. I can't adjust.
But your mic is now fucked up, is my point.
But I can't use a microphone. I can't use a boom stand. I can't use it. I don't understand it.
A few minutes later.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're understanding. Look, I just saw a look of disgust on your face.
It wasn't disgust. It was a slight. There was some impatience. I'll give you that.
Okay, can you tell me what the output is again? Is the USB, right?
Output is earphones.
Input is the
USB.
Is this right?
Yes.
Output, right?
Yes. Now input.
Output.
Oh, for fuck!
How come it's not working? Can you?
I don't know.
A few minutes later.
Output is going into the USB.
No, output is the earphones. Input is
going
USB.
Into the microphone.
No.
Cord. Output is going. Well, then there's something. It says output USB.
But that's not right.
A few minutes later.
Input USB.
Yes.
How about now?
Oh, yeah. We're now 3 years into this, Andy.
No, it's not. I think it's a cry for help.
Then just cry for help, for fuck's sake.
Oh, just go, help. I don't feel good about the world. No, because if I said that to you, Josh, that would imply that there is technique that I have that I'm not using.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what I just realized is why we have to toggle is because if I do this all beforehand, then it usually lines up right.
How about can I give you a little suggestion?
Yeah.
A little Post-it note.
Mm-hmm.
Says input USB, output headphones.
Well, I wouldn't have. Here's why I just realized myself.
Or maybe let's write a little song.
No, here's what I realized. The output, here's what I discovered about myself and my dyslexia.
Yeah.
The output means that which is going out into the microphone.
No,
stupid. No, stupid. Okay, so the output is what's going into my fucking ears. This is my ears.
It's the computer, not you, is your problem. You're thinking of it as your output, and that would go into the microphone, and that's
exactly right.
Yes, that's not what's right.
Then it's something wrong with the system of language.
You are creating input to the computer.
I know, but I only understood it now.
I know. Okay, well, I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do.
When did I get my first black and white? Hey, don't forget, when I graduated from college and I came out to L.A.,
I'm sorry, just the idea of that is funny to me.
When I graduated from college and went out to L.A., I enrolled in Long Beach City College to to learn how to record, like to use the board. Isn't that a little odd?
It took 3 days for your instructor to kill himself.
I'm trying to think what we did. We somehow got into their studio, and we were.
Are you sure you didn't get out to their studio?
All I'm saying inside my head now is output into your ears, input into the microphone.
That's good. Keep saying it. I'll sacrifice a show for that to sink in.
This is the way that you're laughing at someone's
glitch.
No, someone's emotional. Someone's obviously. I mean, I don't know if you can say that I'm mentally challenged.
I don't know. I'm reading David Milch's book right now, which he wrote in the early throes of dementia. And it's fucking awesome.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, he's such a good writer.
It doesn't make you sad,
It
though?
reminds me that maybe I should read some fiction once in a while because great writing is like a meal sometimes.
Yeah, oh, that's cool. I'm not sure if your analogy
Not that it's fiction, but it's
I was going to go after your metaphor.
go for it. I don't care.
You don't?
And I don't hear you anymore.
All right. Now, is he at the
Input
point?
out earphones? I can't hear you. What?
Yeah. David Milch knew that going into having this. How is he doing now? Is he completely gone, like in terms of being with people?
I have no idea.
You really don't know?
I really don't know.
So here's what you do. I read the book. You don't care about the people in the book. You're just reading it as I would immediately go, I wonder how he's doing now. How's he doing right now?
Well, maybe when I get to the end of the book, I'll feel that way. But right now, I'm still in his Yale days.
Oh, I see. You never asked me about my Yale days.
Yale day.
Yale days. He was what was his show? The show was with the, what was his show? I forgot the name.
Deadwood was his
show.
His
Right.
masterwork, I think.
Which I didn't watch, so I don't know how good it is, but
Go back
obviously
and watch
it's
it.
brilliant.
At least I kind of fell off of it after like 3-4 years, but
at first it was
really brilliant for a few years that I was into it.
Yeah, I started reading about him.
But he's such a character, and he's just a great fucking writer.
How about me? What do you think about my writing?
You're such a character.
I was considered, I was an English literature major.
I do
That
know
means
that.
I had to have read a book once, or the Cliff Notes.
All I know is that when I say, what have you written? You go into a little panic attack.
When do I say that? When do I do it? No, I write comedy like a pro. I write comedy like it's pouring out of my head. I come up with metaphors like a train that just won't stop sleeping.
That was a simile.
Oh, simile. What's the difference between a simile and a metaphor? Like. Similes are like?
Yes.
I'm like an oven that doesn't work anymore.
Similes are input. Metaphors are output.
Oh, I don't. See, here's the thing. When you're a narcissist, which many people in my family were previous to me, you don't.
You're clean.
I'm not clean, but you don't really. It's almost like you're a serial killer. You don't react to things normally.
It's almost like
I'm
that.
not saying it's as bad as
like
being a
that,
serial.
Yes, it's almost.
It's not as bad. Josh, is there something on my face? I can't breathe. Andy, call 911.
Do I look
Allison
fat?
runs in. Allison runs in. What did you fucking do? I didn't see that he had died.
Don't put this on me.
Don't put this on me. I was concerned about this thing on my face that I thought could be skin cancer.
What do you think?
What's that? What do you think? Too soon. Bop, 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 bump. Too soon. The first thing we do when you die is we get rid of that Beatles pinball machine. Why would that be? How would that get back at you?
I don't know.
Well, Josh, I have to tell you, I am very depressed.
I'm sorry.
Normally, I don't mean it like just like depressed because I can't operate equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I don't want to spend a long time on it because I know it's useless. But when Elon Musk comes up with a conspiracy theory, he goes, there's a tiny possibility that Paul Pelosi may have been part of a sex ring. I swear to God, my fucking blood boils.
Yeah.
It boils. And because first of all, I know that Twitter is going to be over soon. And it's probably better for me. What am I promoting? Right? So,
certainly not our show.
So I really feel like my fears are going to come true. I don't see how long we can stay on it because people don't seem to. I mean, do people care about the fact that this fucking guy is like is like a terrible human being? He's a bad human being who negotiates with Putin.
Yeah. I got nothing on this really because my knee-jerk wish would be to go, yep, fuck it. But the truth is, it is my only online presence, which is still a thing in this world.
Well, you're on Instagram.
Yeah, with like 1,000 people.
Yeah, but
I fucking hate Instagram.
Even if you had 12
fucking
people.
hate it.
What would you? Still don't understand how to use it. Someone was making fun of somebody going, they don't even know what a story is, as opposed to, why should I know what a story is?
That's right. You're 65 years old, for fuck's sake. 66.
No, but seriously, these stories come to you like email, right? Hey, stop your fucking day. It's not like it's going to the picture, to the part where you post things. This is like, and in addition to that, who doesn't want an update about me?
All right.
Do you read people's stories?
No, I don't. I don't engage in Instagram at all, really. The last post I did was when I was at Acme in May.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm hoping advertisers flee the platform is what I'm hoping, because he cannot stand that a fascist, hate monger owns the Twitter privately. It has to be constantly condemned and taken down. That's my goal. Unless I get
and as long as you can condemn and do that on the platform, I think there's a reason to be on the platform. As soon as they stop you from doing that, that's when it's for sure time to leave. People
go, when are you leaving? When are you leaving? I'm not. Elon Musk doesn't tell me when to leave. I'll leave whenever the fuck I want to leave. And it's probably going to be when they ban me or something, because I keep trying with I do like hashtag fuck off Elon. That doesn't seem to affect anybody.
That would be the thing he wouldn't do, is ban that.
Well, no, I also like saying fuck off Eli.
No, and I think you can. I think you'll be free to do that in perpetuity.
And then I'm sure you know about this, that Jimmy Dores, the guy who beat up Paul Pelosi, almost killed him, was a Jimmy Dore fan. Had Jimmy Dore. Let me ask you a question, Josh. If you were in the similar position as Jimmy Dore, let's say you were completely oblivious to to what you were saying, right? And then one day, hey, the guy who's married to the Speaker of the House almost got killed, and they cited you. Wouldn't you say, "Oh boy, is my face red"?
I think that, yes, I think I would.
You wouldn't say, oh, really? Or whatever he does.
Oof. I hate it when he pulls the "oh, really."
There's just so many assholes now. There's this guy who used to be the redneck on acid. His name is Steve McGrew. He might be the worst comic I've ever seen in my life. He's taking credit for this picture that Don Jr. posted with my Paul Pelosi outfit for Halloween. He's got a hammer in his underwear, right? And this to me, this means I really was. When I was upset in the 80s, I should have been more upset about the comedy somehow, or I could have stopped it, or
maybe you were just trying to stop the wrong people, Andy.
What do you mean? I was trying. Steve McGrew. Back in I've told you the story before. I'm sorry, but I need to tell it again. Steve McGrew, once I was in Vegas and I was giving speeches in Montreal, he started this blog or whatever. He was on this blog of like other comics who we probably don't like that much, just trashing me every day. And then when I come to the club, he didn't know it. He'd go, hey, Andy, how's it going? So this guy. So he tried to sabotage me.
I was trashing you in character.
So what happened was that he was in Montreal, and I forgot how it came up, but it came up that he was he was trying to apologize to me for having all these people about blogging about me while we were working in Vegas. He calls my room, and I don't believe it's him. He goes, "Hi, Andy, it's Steve McGrew. I just want to say I'm really sorry." Yeah, right. You're Steve. Of course, Steve McGrew. Of course, that's exactly what I would expect from a scumbag like you. Is that you would call me now and try to apologize? And he says, because I think it's Patton. Do you understand?
Yeah,
I think it's Patton. I in no way think it's Steve McGrew.
Yeah.
I go, that's exactly what I would expect from an asshole. He goes, "I understand that you're upset, Andy, so I'm sorry." He went further with the sorry. could have been my finest moment had I meant to do it. So, cut to this guy's now, his 15 minutes of fame. The redneck on acid is back.
Yeah.
He's national news. These idiots.
Yeah. Well,
that's all I got.
That's, you can, you can be a news item without being funny in this world.
The thing that's disturbing about it is that when I think now back on these days, like, he was part of the Denver group of comedians, but he wasn't a funny Denver comic.
Yeah, no, there was a great group of comedians from Denver.
Right. But he was like, what I'm trying to say is that there was a legitimate place for obnoxious, like, I don't know Michael Florwax that well. Did you know him?
I did.
Okay. Was he pretty funny?
He was genuinely fucking hilarious, yes.
Right. So there's a place for whatever that kind of comedy is called.
Yeah.
That also swept up these people like Steve McGrew and has now...
It's saloon comedy.
It's saloon comedy, right?
And Michael Florwax, had a sort of very elevated form of that. And I don't mean elevated intellectually, but elevated just comedically and creatively in his weird way.
But there was what I'm saying is, like, even if you want to go back and say Hicks and his people were kind of rebels, Kennison went a different way, but they weren't rebels. They may have even said things about women that I wish they hadn't said or whatever, but it was not motivated by hate. It was motivated by them kind of in the tradition of Richard Pryor and all these people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
in a way?
But I mean, the difference in between the Texas outlaw comics and the Denver guys, I think, was that, the Texas outlaw comics were in pursuit of an art form. Like you said, it was in the spirit of Pryor and that sort of truth-telling, quote unquote.
Right.
And they were trying to outdo each other in that regard.
Right.
Whereas the Denver guys were trying to outdo each other in terms of, the kind of shit that people would buy you shots for.
Right. Yes. I'm trying to think of who the other comics were, but there were actually like Roger Rittenhouse, who was hilarious.
Roger Rittenhouse, Matt Berry, wasn't he?
Yeah, these were like hilarious. And they also had a funny, they also had a nice club at that time, which I hate now, but that was a club where we were all welcomed in until Wendy decided that she just wanted the people who yelled, yeah, shit, yeah. Right. So that's another example of that scene curdled into hack comedy row.
That's the other thing is that the Denver thing was more about killing anyway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, I just feel, that's my gut feeling,
Yeah. And which is always bad.
And I think the badge of honor for the Texas guys was walking people.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's just like this Shane Gillis, who's like one of the things he said in that New Yorker article that I hated was, he goes, I had a bad set. I got to go out for 7 more sets and I got to kill every time to get the taste of the bad set out of my mouth. That's not comedy. That's not what makes great comedy.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that wasn't the worst part of it all. Let me just say.
No, it wasn't the worst part of the article.
I mean, there's plenty of comics for whom it is their whole life,
But most comics that I admire do not walk around saying how they slayed.
No,
it's just,
of course not. Of course not.
And most comics I admire know when they're killing for the wrong reasons.
But they'll slip it in. I was playing Chicago last week. Killed.
Yeah, like I asked Gary Goldman. I
told you the great story I heard when I was at Arts Deli and Richard Lewis was behind me in a booth telling the story of, I played Carnegie Hall. I was drunk. I didn't feel anything. I still got 2 standing ovations, but I was.
It's so funny because I
didn't feel it. I didn't remember it. Yeah.
I love Richard Lewis, and I've got to talk to him on the phone a few times. He definitely has that part of his thing where he doesn't realize he's kind of bragging, right?
Well, but you can't be good at this without ego. I mean, that's the truth of it, you know. Some people blend it in with their personality a little better, but you can't be a big comic without an ego thing, you know.
Right, I guess so, but I think that his thing was did you know him or did you speak to him or you didn't know him then?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying. But I don't believe that that's what makes it, you know, that's not what made Steve Martin great, was, you know, that he.
I think it was for a time. I mean, I think once he recognized it in himself and the absurdity of the whole, you know, once he recognized that it was a babysitting gig, it wasn't fun for him anymore. I mean, the art was more important than the ego for Steve Martin.
Right, right.
You know, but you don't become a huge star by accident, you know?
I think you can become, I don't know.
I don't think he calculated getting as big as he did, because how could you? There wasn't there wasn't precedent for it even, you know? Right,
but I don't know that I think that the people who are the hugest people are necessarily different than me and you. It just depends on how they deal with the fame.
I disagree. I think.
I know you've had this opinion for a long time. I just don't necessarily agree with it. I don't see it, but I admit that you have the opinion, but I don't know that I agree with. What's that sound?
It was my answering machine.
Oh. No. I think we genuinely disagree about this.
Yeah.
I think people can be fucked up, but I don't think someone like, you know.
But I'm not. But I think you're slightly misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Okay, well, then
I think there is such a thing as a healthy ego. But I don't think, I'm not saying that everyone who's a star is a narcissist, toxic narcissist, you know, or is, you know, egomaniacal. But I'm saying there is still something that creates that drive to be a star that is a big percentage ego, you know, and because because that's getting fed as you go.
Right, but I'm addressing more like the Beatles had no idea they were going to be the biggest band in the world. Nobody knew they were going to be that big.
No, but I think they hoped to.
But they hoped to, like every band does.
Right.
Like every comedian does.
Right.
So I don't think that's what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm saying is
that people are huge become that just the very fact of reaching that much success means that they have to become that way, or maybe I
don't know. My point isn't that they become that way. My point is that it's inherent to the journey. My inherent is that it's there the whole time.
Yeah.
I do think that many people are toxified by, you know, you have to admit that celebrity creates an entirely different way that people are treated.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm not admitting that, but the thing is, there were a lot of bands like the Beatles, but the Beatles and a lot of bands where everybody in that band wanted to be the number one band.
Right.
So, but they didn't all become the number one band.
I understand. That's why I'm saying it's not just that.
No, it's not just that. And also,
but they were the ones going the toppermost of the poppermost. Where are we going? You know?
Oh, no question. They loved it. They were kids and they had so much fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, nobody at that time could go, are you just going to rock and roll to meet women? Because there wasn't any, because in the 50s, well, I guess Frank Sinatra was the sex with the rock and roll.
No, I don't think, but I'm just saying you don't get into any of this shit without delusions or illusions of grandeur, you know?
I don't know about that. If I wanted to be, as a little kid, I wanted to be Willie Mays.
Yeah.
Why is that delusions of grandeur? It's just a dream.
No, I understand. But if you then decided I want to be Willie Mays and started training and becoming,
I did.
No, you didn't.
But then I did until I was 7 or 8, and everybody got taller than me. Oh no, you don't realize it. I really was crushed when I realized I was tiny and couldn't compete. It was very crushing for me for about 4 months. But then I let the dream go.
Yeah.
I let the dream. I know. You know what this thing is?
Maybe I should say it as extra self-confidence or extra, you know. But you know, I'm not saying that it's a toxic thing. I'm just saying it's an inherent thing.
Okay, because as you said over the years,
like the Mickey. No, I mean there is my little showbiz maxim of there's incredibly ambitious people, there's incredibly talented people. and some of each of those make it, and the people who are both, all of them make it. That's my paradigm.
No, they don't, because there's a lot of crazy egomaniacs who didn't make it, just believing they
That's not my point. That's you didn't listen.
Okay, well, let me.
There's two groups. There's three groups. There's super ambitious people, and we've seen all those people make it. They make it just because they have that drive. They schmooze. They aren't necessarily funny or whatever, but they make it. They keep ascending. Some of those people make it that are just purely good at that. And then there's super talented people, who aren't necessarily good at that, but their talent rises above others, and it's obvious.
Right.
And some of those people make it. There's plenty of people we know who are super talented who haven't made it.
Yeah, it depends. Yes, and it depends what you mean by make it, but they didn't want to continue, or whatever happened, or they had to have a job, or whatever happened.
Whatever. But their talent wasn't given its due.
Right.
But then there's people who are super talented and super ambitious.
Oh, I say you're saying if they're super talented and super ambitious,
they all make it. Yeah,
they can't fail. Yeah, because didn't Elvis Costello go outside of the studio and play outside?
Yeah, exactly.
The streets?
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. No one becomes a star as an accident.
Right. But over the years, the tinge that I've taken from it is that the bigger they are, the even more fucked up they are.
No, and that's not how I feel at all.
Okay. Well, then I'm glad you changed your mind.
I mean, I think celebrity is kind of like cocaine. It amplifies who the person is one way or the other. But,
exactly. I mean, the thing is but here's the other part of it. When you get when people look at the example, and I don't want to talk about it, but it's an example, is I can't, it's like the whole Michael Jackson thing. I can't kind of wrap my head around the fact that I can't explain what I'm trying to say, is that the position seems to be that you shouldn't even kind of listen to his music anymore, that he did something that was so horrible that it makes his music. But see, it must be something in my own mind it's kind of like struggling to understand something that just isn't understandable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, because, if you were, I can't explain what I'm saying, but I love Michael Jackson's music. I love how it influenced me. So I don't know. It's confusing.
Well, I mean, are you actually wrestling with you should feel guilty for listening to Michael Jackson?
No, I don't listen to him. I don't really listen to him.
But if it comes on, what do you do?
Oh, it's not when it comes on. It's when people are talking about him in any format.
Yeah.
Because the way they talk about him in any format is horrible.
Yes.
So I don't even have a point to make. It's just that I think it's when you raised so far with black and white.
You mean in terms of attitude, not in terms of race.
Not people, right. But the point is that his father was a monster. I mean, I think it's pretty well established that his father beat them all up and was horrible with them. So you can see clearly what happened to him. But there's something where I want him to be not as did what he did somehow.
Well, but yeah, but that's the central thing to wrestle with any of these. So, quote unquote cancellations or what, I tend to believe that it's a case by case. Right. It's like, I believe once art is in the world, it's there to form a relationship with the consumer of it.
Right.
But an artist can be so horrible that they can ruin that relationship.
Yes.
But I think it's an individual's decision. This world is a hard and horrible place, and if you can find things that make you feel better, stay with them. I believe, it's not a crime to listen. It's not a crime to listen to a fucking Cosby album from 1962 if it still gives you joy.
Well, now you.
It might be a crime to buy one.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
My relationship with Cosby albums was formed in the 70s when I was a child. I mean, and I'm not saying that I can't listen to it anymore because it's too, Not that I necessarily would anyway, because it's kind of ingrained in me anyway now. But
you've known all the bits anyway.
But the point is that I can't look at the history of comedy and say he wasn't one of the greats. But I can also say, and it turns out he was a fucking monster.
Yeah, he was a monster. Yeah,
but
I feel good. I feel good because I never liked him as much as other people, so I feel a little superior.
I don't care. You're competing against me as a fucking 5-year-old. I don't care.
You know what? How old were you when I was 5? How old was I when you were 5?
17.
So you were a fucking idiot.
No, you were 20.
What the fuck did you know, you little shrimp? That's what I used to say to you when you were that age. Come back to me when you can.
No, I was taller
multiply.
than you then.
Oh, that's the sad part. That is always the sad part. Well, I think you gave me some insight into that.
So, but Michael Jackson's the same. First of all, you have to decide. Is he guilty of these crimes? I tend to think he is. But
I think he is guilty of the crimes.
But if Billie Jean comes on, I'll sing along because my relationship to that song took place in 1983. And it has nothing to do with Michael Jackson anymore.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I apologize to myself and anybody who's with it, other voices that live within me, who may have taken.
They're the ones you really need to back off.
So this is going to be a tough week because it's going to be the election a week from Tuesday. I cannot watch the news. I hate everything. I mean, seriously, CNN and MSNBC in the morning are so fucking evil.
Yeah.
They're so evil. I know you don't care, but they're so evil.
How evil are they?
I'll tell you, you cannot turn on CNN or mostly CNN in the morning without hearing within 5 minutes. I'm not lying. That the Republicans are going to take over the House. And I mean, they're as if that's the greatest thing that they love to say. And I say, before I go, I hope I didn't forget to say that it looks like the Republicans are going to take over the House. It's so brutal to me. I just hate it so much. I hate these people. Not all of them, but certainly your morning people. John King. I despise that man. I know you don't despise him. I despise him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay now.
All right.
Let's move on to something else that I despise.
Yes, please.
Well, no, it's going to be tough though. I don't want to. You know me, Josh. I'm not someone who wants to affect the quality of the show with the things that go outside. That's not what I'm about. I get in here and it's about good feelings and it's about being funny and being unprepared.
It's an oasis.
It's an oasis.
It's an embassy.
We promised you. Now, I'm glad for listeners of the show who started back to the beginning, and then they go, oh my God, is this going to be another one of those things? I think we've done a better job of not bringing it to the show as much, maybe, right? Maybe it's just getting bad the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not talking about you. You're doing a good job in general.
Thank you, pal.
Well, you're a better person than me because you don't get involved.
I don't know. That makes me sound really hollow.
That was stupid. That was just stupid. I like when you can insult somebody, but it has to be a little bit more subtle. Of course, you don't care because you actually believe that certain parts of fascism are good.
I just don't believe in a lifestyle that involves yelling at my TV. I just don't.
Oh, yeah. Well, I live in an environment where I turn off my TV.
That's good.
I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah.
How proud of myself is I'm just so sad. I'm so sad. Also, we don't know what's going to happen. So that's the other thing.
Right. Have you voted yet?
No, today's the day when I usually do it.
Yeah.
Because they say you could mail it on election day, they claim, or something like that. It has to be postmarked, but I don't believe that.
No, you don't.
No. I will work on it tonight.
You're an election denier? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I will work hard on it tonight. Be a little slightly confused. I'm not going to listen to all these circulars, though, who say Rick Caruso for mayor.
That's good. That's good. That shows you're a free thinker. You're an independent thinker.
You know, I was thinking about what you were talking about last week about Karen Bass. Without getting into a fight, 'cause I don't want to get into a fight. But the reason why I would say that you have to be, because I went after Janktimonious again, Sugar, whatever his name is. He's saying both of these people, he's supporting Rick Caruso now all of a sudden.
Really?
Yeah. But the point is this. I happen to like Karen Bass. I don't know what's happening. But she's a person whose job is to be a politician and to know how to do that.
Right.
That's what her job is.
Yes.
And she's had her heart in the right place. It's not like she wasn't a Republican for 30 years before. And the first thing Rick Caruso, hi, I'm Rick Caruso. I'm a Democrat. Anybody can be a Democrat the way he is. He just changed his party affiliation.
Yes.
So I find it very, very strange that anybody would vote for him.
Yeah.
What do you think he wants? What is his angle? He spent $80 million of his own money. How big is it? Is it an ego thing? What's he angling for?
I think it's an ego thing. I think it's a I know better thing. You know, I think it's that same thing that makes businessmen tend to run, which is this is run like shit. I could put this, the problem is that no one's.
What's this guy doing here? Get this guy off the street. Why are you here? Why are you this homeless guy here?
Where are you supposed to be?
Yes. Look how disgusting it is with all this dirt in the poorer areas of our city and also every area. But I want this out of here.
Yes, it's a combination of because they have gotten things done in the realm of business, they believe that translates to politics, which of course it doesn't. And there's no more city more complicated than Los Angeles.
He's trying to get Karen Bass in trouble for saying it's going to take longer than 4 years to solve the homeless problem. Well, that's just a motherfucking fact, isn't it?
I mean, when you hear the tapes of the city council having massive racial divisions.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, come on now. And I thought that was not a good moment for our city.
No, it's just, So, what I believe about Karen Bass is that she understands at least how a city runs and how it works.
Yeah.
And that, while her plans aren't pie in the sky by any means, they're all based on using mostly existing structures.
Ideas.
Instead of inventing new things that, have sort of proven not to ever get to the completion in the Rick Caruso plan.
Well, I'm going to tell you how the Rick Caruso plan would like it to be in his mind, all right? He gets into office.
Yes.
He builds 40,000 beds. He does 60. What's this new thing? I'm going to build a lot of affordable housing. But I'll be the landlord.
Right. So as a builder, I've never built any.
He's a builder. That's his new commercial. And he has a hard hat. So here's the thing. If he has his way, he'd go in, and the first couple of weeks, he would say, all right, we're going to get it. And then after that, it would just be rounding up homeless people. That's all he would do. Round them up, throw them in the thing.
I think so.
And then people will say, people like other idiots, like what do you call these kind of people who walk around and they think they're wealthy and they think, I don't like this and it needs to change. They're assholes, maybe. Just what they are.
Right. I feel a little bit like taking the politics section local isn't really going to help our listeners.
What would help out? Are you talking about making our podcast more of a national thing?
Yes, as opposed to this local podcast we do.
All right, well then, let me tell you something.
Now let's go to traffic.
I have another 20 minutes just on Proposition SU.
At least you didn't say FU. I bought a new computer yesterday.
What did you get?
I got me a super PowerBook, or whatever they call it now.
You might have something like Susan has then.
I might.
Version of it. Wow. And do you already love it?
I haven't even taken it out of the box yet because I have to go through the
migration.
The migration. And I'm wary to do that right now.
Well, I think,
but I finally have. I mean, this is an old ass computer.
The one you have?
The one that we're talking on now, yes.
Is it a MacBook Air? No, it's a
MacBook Pro.
Right. Oh, okay. From the old days, yeah. The one Susan used to have.
Well, I mean, that's what this one, the new one is too. It's a MacBook Pro.
Right.
But it's 7 years newer than my current one.
Well, the operating system is amazing, and also they're using their own. I think they're using their own chips now, and they're better.
Yes. So that's the nice thing about. I mean, part of it is that I tend to hold on to things until I absolutely need to change them.
Is that true? I don't see you that
No,
way.
I'm totally that way. Look at my fucking car is over 10 years old. I
have never had. I don't know anybody who has a car that new.
But part of it was that Mac had switched to basically no ports on their PowerBooks.
Yes,
Or
yes,
their
yes,
MacBook
yes.
Pros, rather. And so I was clinging on to the last model that had all the ports that I liked, that I cherished.
Well, it has two.
And part of it is
I
I feel guilty when I buy myself new things. But I literally, for the first time I think in my life, I was, because I was editing, I was actually working beyond the capability of my current computer, and that
Yeah,
that's the straw that breaks the camel's back.
yeah. You don't need that. I mean, but with Susan, she was like, couldn't do Photoshop, and the
Just because
Photoshop
there's
was
so
shutting
much
down her computer.
fucking data in these photos now.
Yeah, and especially hers because she shoots everything. Like she shoots everything raw, obviously. So.
Yes.
It takes up more space. Now, Bruce Smith says, I just shoot it as a JPEG. All right, Bruce. Yeah, I just took him down. That's right. A lot of people are going down this podcast, but because it's so local, nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about
Exactly.
at this point.
JPEG is a street, people.
Well, I'm very happy that you did that. And I promise, and I make a promise right now, that I would say within a year to 18 months that I will really smooth out how to hook up this thing,
That's good.
and make the microphone. I think we can all look better to smoother seas.
Do you have any apartment I'm sorry, condo trick-or-treaters?
No, we never have. And so I think
Are there any children in your building?
Oh, there's no children in my building.
Wow.
There's no children, and I don't see anybody walking around.
There's just nurses and tenants?
Nurses. There are old people and nurses, and some of I think, is it that in general apartment, like condos are more foreboding? Probably, right?
Probably. I mean, it's no place to raise a child. He said
So
to
you're definitely-
millions of people who are raising children in condos.
Are you definitely shutting the lights this year?
Well, I don't have candy, so I probably should.
And then you're gonna watch the World Series like locked up in a thing?
I will, yes. Turn off the lights, honey, turn off the lights.
That sounds like me.
Don't
That
go
would be
near
me.
don't go near the
That's me.
No, I mean, it's like there's like virtually no kids. So,
Yeah,
so
you shouldn't
being
have to worry
being
about
on alert for 6 kids over the course of 4 hours doesn't sound like fun to me. And maybe I'm a Grinch. Maybe because I'm not giving poison candy to your kids.
Oh, you're the bad guy.
I don't mean putting actual poison. I mean the candy is poison.
It's going to ruin their teeth.
It'll ruin their
Is
teeth.
what you're talking
Make
about.
them jittery.
Yeah.
I used to fucking after Halloween, I was on a month-long candy drip.
And yeah, why would first of all, why would someone market apple with razor blades? How does that get marketed first? Let alone how it ends up in my bag. I mean, that's what kind of a disgusting society are we? We have razor. That's all I thought about when I was a kid. Razor blades and apples.
And all I thought was, who gives out apples? Like, not to worry. Oh, yeah, I'm going to bite right into that apple.
Yeah, which has all kinds of like metal things in it.
Why is this Snickers bar stuck to my apple? Oh, there's a blade here. Let me just get the Snickers free and throw away the apple.
But as I've said this a million times, I'm so glad. Thank God I didn't have children, because now would be the worst time period for OCD people to have to try and conduct a.
Well, on the bright side, if you had children, they'd be 40 now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That made me sad. Because I think Susan and I definitely decided no kids. Definitely.
Yeah, you finally came to that.
We were going to adopt.
Yeah.
We were going to adopt.
Yeah.
What sounds better than a 66-year-old person's, entering life with a new thing?
That's my favorite. I just wrote a sketch in my head of Andy and Susan waiting for the adoption inspector.
Will you shut up? Just put it under the bed.
Put a
baby.
tennis ball on the side of that. Just put the tennis ball on the corner.
Why did you leave the razor-bladed apples out? That's the first thing she's going to check.
You're trying to sabotage us. You don't even want a child.
Well, I want one, but I want him to be the typical thing. I want him to be 16.
Are you ready for the drug test?
I think that people who listen to the show must be very proud of the fact that one guy is crazy, another one is a certain amount of equanimity. One guy's a maniac, the other guy's a guy who says, whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a second, Andy, maybe you're going too far. And then Andy says, hate. Despise. Sick of it. How are you doing?
And we're out of time.
He doesn't own me.
Now, don't say anything.
Okay.
The input is the USB.
A few minutes later.
All right, go ahead, Josh. No problem.
And we're
Wouldn't
back.
Wouldn't that be terrible if I had 3 people here? Maybe I had Alex here. Alex, 2 other people. For me to have a studio audience for just me.
That would be horrible, yes.
No. Sometimes you need to turn not just your frown upside down.
Yeah.
You need to turn your box upside down.
It's true.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I know what you're worried about.
The problem is if I turn my box upside down, suddenly I'm outside the box, and that's where I'm thinking.
In fact, the only way I could think outside the box is to have someone shake up the box,
right.
throw them. You just did the same. I don't know why I do your
remove
joke.
You from the box is what you're saying.
Yes. Have you heard Vince Scully?
Have I heard him?
Yeah, they have a thing. Everybody, live your life. It's a good time for something like that. It's for the World Series. No, do you think I'm not doing a good impression of it?
I don't know. I haven't heard it.
Give me a little Vin. Don't give me Vin because it's going to only ruin it.
Why is that?
Because we don't really need Vin Scully to sell my horrible bit that doesn't exist.
It's time to play the spiral. Andy goes left to take a sip of coffee.
And he thought...
He recoils in laughter and steps up to the plate.
He thought taking a sip of coffee would make the show better.
Not the case.
Now, I have a couple of questions to ask you before we
You do. You actually have a pad in front of you with questions on it.
Yeah.
What? Long list, short list, it says.
Okay, 1, did you vote?
I did vote.
Okay, I have not voted yet.
I win.
Today.
I win round 1.
What do you do with Ricardo, Lena, and these 3, Bonino and Shmediki, Banta? How do you know where you're going? Did you go by the... do you go by the L.A.?
I use the L.A. Times as a sort of first voter guide.
Yeah, but I don't subscribe.
And then dug deep when it was...
oh, yes.
When I differed from the L.A. Times on a few of them.
But did you go with the ULA and the SP?
I don't know what that means.
The land things? You know what? This is the worst radio I've ever heard.
It is.
It's the worst anything I've ever heard.
We can consult offline.
Yeah, but you know what's going to be good? Because people are going to be tuning in Monday. All they're going to want to hear is poor election coverage from us first.
Well, thankfully, it is coming out Monday, so there's a chance for us to say to some of you, for God's sake, vote. Okay? For God's sake, vote.
I've been doing a very good job of not watching anything. I fast forward through all of the Harry Enton or the other thing.
Yeah.
And so I still feel like we could win. I feel like Michael Moore. I don't really feel like Michael Moore, but we could win both or something like that. Nobody knows is the truth. Nobody knows from the polls.
Let's go with that.
Well, that's true, but it's even worse. And CNN has gotten...
Oh, tell me again how CNN has gotten bad, please.
I don't think you realize...
Please tell me again how CNN is Fox now.
I don't think you realize. Okay, now, I have another big announcement for you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
No more pretzels. No more pretzels. No more carbs.
Good.
I've lost 2 pounds so far.
Nice. But that was just the 2-pound bag of pretzels you were carrying around.
That's not nice because the doctor told me. You know how the doctor...
I honestly thought you had shaken pretzels before now, but...
No, I hadn't. I had slipped. You know, I got sick. I got a really bad cold.
Yeah.
Really bad cold. Just shut up.
It was a bad cold. We heard it. We all heard it. It was a bad cold.
Yeah, but who cares? So during that time period, when I first got sick, I was like, I want crackers.
Feed a cold.
So I did that.
Yeah.
And I got into the, like, when you're feeling sick and you want chicken soup, you want as much white toast. I had everything came from Arts, and it was great. But it got me back onto crackers and everything. So now no carbs, no snack carbs ever, and no bagels, obviously. But there are a couple of bagels now that are like protein. They're great, but they don't taste good as bread.
Right.
And see, Killer Dave.
That to me is where my dietary thing is I just can't. The fake things always mess with me because they make me long for the real thing more than not having any of it.
That's why with Dave's Killer Bread, I'm not advertising for it.
I use Dave's Killer Bread.
Oh, it's excellent tasting bread. It's got 21 whole grams per slice.
Yeah, no, it's a good bread.
No, I'm surprised that you. So, how often do you do? So, anyway, I'm very excited because, okay, I got my, what's it called? My A1C.
Yeah.
A1C goes down, down, down. A1C. My A1C last time was 6.7. Now it is 6.8. So, I've been freaking out. But now I'm looking all over online, and if you can keep your A1C...
It's time for you to go to your AA1C meeting.
Why am I laughing at that? That's not funny.
It was funny last time. I thought I'd try it again.
You ever think maybe I'm laughing just to encourage you to keep doing the comedy?
I hope so.
Here's the thing, I think. There's so many annoying things about me, but some of them are less annoying. But one of them is this thing. Enjoying a joke and then making it as if it's so funny I can barely continue on.
All right. And I appreciate it.
I like the way your hair looks. It's shorter.
It's balder, I think.
I think it looks good.
It's just I'm usually wearing a cap. That's why it's really noticing it too.
But I have to tell you, Josh, in the days when you were doing the thing where you had the comb over, and you had one of the worst comb overs, you had a person who would come in and vacuum the comb over the place that would be combed over.
Right.
Every morning.
Until I got the cranial Roomba.
Cranial Roomba. I like that a lot. You see, I don't think if you're, I know you're looking for another podcast. I saw the ads in the recycler.
Sure.
But you're not going to find somebody as charming as me. Huh?
What? Hello?
You know, maybe do I have peccadillos? No, I don't have peccadillos, right? I have annoying habits.
Yes, traits.
What? You know, here's the thing that also gets me.
What's
the
that?
Joy that leaps into your eyes at the chance of slamming me.
Yeah.
Don't you care about me? Are you watching the World Series? A very good World Series. Excellent.
It is an excellent World Series. I'm doing a lot of checking back in with the World Series more than I am settling in to watch it.
I'm doing a lot of imagining, what if I was Justin Verlander and I was married to Kate? Is he married to Kate Upton?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Why do you pretend that you don't know anything that's going on in the news when there's many things that you do know?
I read TMZ.
I did it again.
I read TMZ, and it's like they're trying to be the Drudge Report now. I can't even look at it anymore. I just can't even look at it.
Is there an argument to be made that TMZ has changed, or no? It's just
no. I was just mocking you.
I can't even. Oh, I see. Because I see. But the joke there would be I wouldn't like TMZ to begin with. But I see what you're saying.
No,
though.
You're the one who brought up Justin Verlander and Kate Upton as news.
Yes, it is news. Because they're married, and I think of myself like if I had been a ball player, you know, would I be a part of a power couple?
Well, you are as a comic, so probably.
Don't mock the fact that I have a regular relationship instead of some crazy. I dated Melissa Rivers for years, as you know. Is it Melissa?
I think it is, yes.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the question.
That's what ended the relationship, is after 2 years you went, is it Melissa?
I did a show with her once.
Yeah.
I did. You
TV
remember when
or
I was
live?
Live.
Yeah.
Pet Stars. Remember when I was on Pet Stars?
That was another show besides the
it wasn't
Andy
the Pet
Kindler's
Shop.
Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, who's the guy who Mario? He has the show. He has the
Cantone?
entertainment. No, Mario. He has the Entertainment Tonight. One of those shows. Maybe it's not Mario.
I don't know. Let's move on. Keep going. Let's not get caught up on Mario.
I forgot what we were talking about.
It's you and Melissa Rivers and Mario.
Yes. Okay, it was called Pet Stars. And it was not. Who's the good-looking guy who had an affair on his honeymoon? And he was on Full House.
John Stamos?
No.
Dave Coulier?
He's not on Full House.
Dave
maybe.
Coulier? Bob Saget? I'm
Who's
out of
the
Full House.
handsome guy he's a young guy, Mario. Okay.
I don't know. It's probably obvious, and I just don't know.
Okay. So it was a thing where it was stupid pet tricks, basically. So you would rate the people. I can't believe I haven't told this story before. Where you would rate you would be like a rating on a 1 to 5 basis.
You were judging
stars,
dogs, is what you're saying.
Judging all animals. So it was all pets, right?
Sure.
So Melissa Rivers was on the panel with me and somebody else, and it was very embarrassing because what happened was I did not want to give any low scores out.
Right.
So like an idiot, right out of the chute, I give 5 stars to someone who attaches a fork to their cat's paw, like ties it on. And it probably is helping the cat.
But the cat was eating with a fork, is what you're saying.
Actually, it was a fork with the person operating it.
All right.
5 stars. It was so embarrassing. I just could not see clear to giving any bad, and these were some bad tricks.
Yeah.
I got $5,000 an episode.
Nice. How many episodes?
2. This is what old people do. This is what I do when I'm in the home. Yeah. You know what they pay me for? I turned down Hollywood Squares. You know how much I would have made?
Scale plus 10.
Can you believe
plus 10 people?
Can you believe that I wouldn't do Hollywood Squares with Raymond?
No, you would have done
that. Was a mistake, right?
You really turned down Hollywood Squares?
Yeah. Because I hated Whoopi Goldberg.
What the fuck, man?
I hated Whoopi Goldberg so much.
Jesus.
It was so stupid.
It was stupid.
What was my point?
I don't know.
I only do good things? Look at my resume.
You just did fucking the dog show with Melissa Rivers, but you won't go on TV with Whoopi Goldberg?
Well...
I'll take Andy Kindler for the self-block.
I guess here's the thing. I wasn't as mature as I am today, as you know.
Yeah. So
I really felt like all I've done is slam this person. I would feel weird being.
Okay, so you were afraid of Whoopi
Probably
Goldberg.
afraid of Whoopi.
As long as we get to the truth, I feel better.
I'm not. No story do I ever say is it like me doing Norman Ray, right?
All right. Any more truths to uncover? Shall we go?
No, but now, is there a way? I've been asking you this for months. Is there a way to cover the time when it...
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Oh my God. Is it this many?
It's a lot.
Pickle says, Andy, do you know what a ramekin is? It's an esoteric word I'd submit. Mr. Mason, perhaps you could lend your mellifluous voice to a description. Go Mets. That's sad. I know what a ramekin is.
Do you?
Yeah. Do you?
I do. Would you like to define it to us?
It's a small dish that carries like sauce on the side or something like that.
Yeah, close enough.
What would you say?
I would say it's a flat-bottomed ceramic bowl.
Oh, it is? Now, why, Mr. Mason?
Yes.
It is ceramic. It's always ceramic.
The ones I've seen have all been ceramic. I can't say it's inherent to the definition.
Almost like Mr. Weinstein made me some creme brulee.
Correct.
Mr.
Yes,
Mason.
that was in.
So it was in a similar type of
absolutely,
situation.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, great! And is it?
And did you find that it had an interesting taste all its own, the creme brulee?
Look, I'm telling you, if I could go back in time, and put you in prison for doing commercials for crap, bullshit, alcohol, I would, Mr. Mason.
Well, I could bribe you with the money once you came back, so I feel safe.
Well, last night on TV, I put on, in celebration of this moment coming up, Madame Bovary.
Oh, what an experience that was.
I couldn't watch 2 seconds of that movie. Is it good, James? Because it's all a bunch of rich people holding curtain hangers.
Well,
Hello. Like that.
well, yes, that's what we do. Yes.
But was it based on a play? I mean,
It was
what's
based on the
point?
novel Madame Bovary
Well, I'll tell you something.
by
This is
Augustus
why-
Flaubert. Huh?
This is why you have to go to the source sometimes, right? Oh God, we are off to a stop.
My agent said I can get you a curtain deal.
I recorded. I didn't record it, but I put it on. Should I want to watch it? But I didn't want to watch it.
Gotcha.
Have you seen it?
I have not, no.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Whoop says, what do you wish other people understood about you?
I wish they knew that I'm a tough cookie. I made
Third degree black belt.
third degree black belt in Taekwondo, and I have the paperwork to prove it. That's how you know someone's not good at Taekwondo.
All right. From a completely unreliable Taekwondo instructor, you have the paperwork.
How much have I revealed about him?
It's not enough. Not
Okay.
enough, as far as I'm concerned.
We didn't leave on good terms, is the point.
That much you've revealed.
But my paperwork is from the World Taekwondo Federation, Kukiwan.
Sure.
So it's official. Because most
Based
people
in
say,
Toledo, Ohio.
I'm telling you, I'm getting all these not death threats, undeath threats. People telling me I mocked it up. It's not even
All right.
Taekwondo. It's misspelled,
Right.
but it's not, folks. It's real. It's real. Could I say it was real if it wasn't real? No.
No, not you.
Emilio. Oh, what do you people wish understood about you?
I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't give a shit.
Right.
That's my first instinct.
Good.
But that's not really true, probably.
No.
I mean, I think probably what I really wish is that more people thought I was awesome. Is really.
Yeah, this has not helped your cause at all. Emilio Fox says, "Hey, Andy and Josh.
Hey,
I
Emilio
hope-"
Fox. How are you? It's been a very long time. I'm glad
That's
you're still
right.
with us.
Where's he been? Is he still at Fox or is he at Emilio?
What is wrong with you?
Oh, I'm funny. Hey, Andy and Josh. I hope you guys are doing well. Do you feel that doing Thought Spiral for the past 5 years has had a positive impact? Not impact on your mental
on
health.
your reading skills.
Yes, it has affected me. I think it's been a positive thing for my mental health, but the listeners might disagree.
I think they've probably observed a positive trend in most of your mental health issues over the 5 years. Don't you think?
What do you mean your mental health issues?
Because you were talking about you.
It says Andy and Josh.
I know. I was saying, but we were talking about you, and then we were going to switch to me.
Okay,
That's how it works.
I'm ready for the switch.
All right. Okay. I think it absolutely has. I don't know if it's more because of the talking or the just for me, the feeling of just baseline productivity is mentally healthy.
Right.
The feeling of just putting something out every week takes some of the self-hating buzz out of my head.
And we've eliminated any interpersonal problems. Everything's been solved. We will never have a show where I'm going like hi. No. It's smooth as silk. No, I don't want to jinx it. But we've been having fun doing the shows is all I'm trying to say.
I'm glad you've been having fun.
It hasn't been a problem.
That was my passive aggressive. I'm glad you've been having fun.
Oh, is that another editing slam?
No.
Okay. Another editing slam? I like when I set up a false scenario. Again with the editing comments? All right.
Oh, it's me, huh? Brown.
Well, I think we should rotate, whatever the word is called.
All right. So Brown's villain retweeted Mike Wilner's tweet, which was promoting the episode of his podcast Deep Left Field, in which Andy Ashby talks playoff formats and Andy Kindler talks the New York Mets early exit.
What did you think of it? I know you listened to it many times.
I remember it less and less. I didn't listen to that one. I listened to you.
I know, I'm just kidding. I don't know
I
what-
listened to you and Andy Levy that time.
Well, that was fun. I thought that was good. I like Andy Levy a lot.
But I am not tuning in to listen to you talk baseball. No. But I think other people should tune in to Deep Left Field with Mike Wilner.
If you like Toronto...
And then Brownsville said, looking forward to the episode featuring J. Elvis Weinstein's droopy voice, Mike and the Sad Dog. That's
I like that. Now, do you know what that's a takeoff on?
No.
Mike and the Mad Dog.
Ah.
Mike and the Mad Dog is from New York. Hey, you heard that guy, Mike?
Now I know. Now you've rung the bell.
The reason why I'm doing this is so that people, the listeners, don't get dispirited that nobody remembers anything. I did remember something.
That's good.
That's a good thing. B.D. West said, I had a grandpa, Andrew. Whoa. I had a grandpa, Andrew, and an uncle, Herman. But it was my uncle, Jim, who was friends with Pat McCormick. Why? Any stories about the big man? A favorite joke? Did I say that my grandfather's name was Herman?
Yes.
Is that how he?
Yes.
And did I say that my name was Andrew? At some point during the show?
Probably dropped that.
And I don't know anything about Pat McCormick.
I love Pat McCormick.
He's funny, but I don't remember specifically.
My favorite story of Pat McCormick is he legendarily, at least, left money in his will to the person who invented the freeway divider bumps. You know, the bumps that alert you to leaving your lane.
Yes.
He left money to him in his will for all the times he saved his drunken ass life.
That's very good. That is good. However, had he killed 7 people one night?
But it's probably apocryphal, like Del Close's skull.
What's the apocryphal story about that?
That he had his skull donated to the Chicago Shakespeare troupe to be used.
That's true.
To be used as Yorick
in the Hamlet.
Yes.
What is it?
Huh?
What is the actual play?
It's either Hamlet or Macbeth. I get confused.
Oh. I almost got something right. Yes, I don't believe that.
I think it's Macbeth, but I could be fucked. But yeah, they did a fake skull. It was not a fake skull, a real skull, but it wasn't actually his.
You know, would I say that close, but a little bit too Del close?
Wow.
Oh, God, I thought that was going to work. Jesus. That was like I had the joy in my heart when the news, they do like a program of the news, and that's the kind of inflation you don't want to see. That's
you are Noel Coward without the Noel.
Oh.
B.D. West is back. A B.D. West twofer, a double shot. My dad enjoyed sports, but was in no way a fanatic. When he would join me watching a game, he would ask me who I was rooting for and then amuse himself by peppering the rest of the game with positive comments about the opposing teams and players. Funny, am I right?
I think it was fun. Yeah. That sounds very similar to what
Grandpa
my dad
Herman
would do.
Oh, I thought it was more.
Yeah, well, that's right. It is like Grandpa Herman. It is exactly like Grandpa Herman. But I'm trying to think. But I'm sure you didn't have there's a special dynamic when you started rooting in your life. The first team you rooted for was the Mets, and who started out so horribly. Yeah. So when you're a little kid, when I was 8 or 9 years old.
You don't know that. You don't know that they're doing. You're not checking the standings in the paper when you're 8 years old.
Oh, no. But it's just a famous story about them coming. I mean, it doesn't, even at 8 years old, I knew that they were a new team, and it was yeah.
But that makes them exciting when you're 8, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I mean, I'm saying an 8-year-old doesn't have it, it's still a professional baseball team filled with big professional.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
It's not like you're you're rooting for the underdog at 8. You have no idea what an underdog is.
Right. Except that Casey Stengel was the manager of, is it manager?
Yeah.
Manager of and he was just making all kinds of funny comments about how horrible they were, including calling them the Amazing Mets when they had lost 110 games.
Right.
That's how they got the Amazing Mets from. I'm so boring. I'm so boring. I can barely pay attention. I just love, I know people don't love it as much as I do, that I went to the World Series. Maybe they loved it the first time I said it. But I can't let it go. World Series, Game 4.
I went to the World Series too.
What teams?
I went to a game of the Twins and St. Louis Cardinals in '87.
Wow, that's exciting.
and I went to the Angels and the Giants.
I don't even remember when they played.
That was Barry Bonds era.
Oh my God!
I saw him hit a tainted home run.
Well, didn't he have 70? He had 70, right? Is he the one who was it? Mark McGwire who went nuts.
Mark McGwire beat it first, but then Barry has both the single season and the all-time record now.
And how do they? Not that you probably care much, but how do they stop? I have a feeling the players are not doing stuff anymore because they're testing them a lot.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not still going on.
I'm sure that there's some kind of cheating going on
because people
that is the nature of baseball and always has been.
Well, people are also on suspended. They have been suspended for performance enhancing things. But I don't know what my point is there. They've ruined the magic. Dan Marsh says, Andy, how would your life be different now if you'd taken a swing at Sandler and knocked him out? Well, let me say this. I've been thinking more and more about this Adam Sandler fella. And I don't know if I told you this, that I apologized to Judd. Did I ever tell you that? I apologized to Judd for putting him in a weird position.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah, back then. And that was I felt good apologizing to him. But my feelings towards Sandler are hardened. I hate his guts. I really do. I hate his guts. And I hate his bullying ways. And I need to let it go before I die. But I haven't let it go yet.
Okay.
I just can't stand him.
Huh. All right.
But if I knocked him out, it would have been bad. This is my fantasy, though. My fantasy is I would have knocked him out. I've had this fantasies my whole life.
Yeah.
That I would go up there and I go, you got a problem with me, Sandler? Ba-boom. Right?
Yeah.
But it never works out well when you do hit people. It doesn't work out well.
No, look, look how badly it hurt Will Smith, and this would be you.
Yeah. They would have probably ejected me that night. They wouldn't have let me say things like, keep your name out of my head.
I think
keep your mouth out of my name.
I more think you would have slapped and run anyway, though.
When I look back at that, it doesn't get any more fun, that moment.
No.
It doesn't get any more less embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
The Will Smith thing you're talking about?
Yeah, so embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I imagine myself being in his position because I'm egged on by somebody.
Right. Your wife, for example.
But his wife didn't egg him on. That's the thing. She just had a negative look on her face for a second.
Yeah.
But we don't want to revisit this. But
well, someday when you're married, you'll understand the subtle signs between spouses.
I am married.
Oh. Tweet Bahara. Tweet Bahara. Tweet Bahara. Tweet Bahara says, Andy, because you are the believer in God of the pair. Ouch. I ask, what do you
laughing at them?
Huh? Because I'm not. I would say I'm not. Because it puts me in the don't believe in God.
Oh, right. That's true.
And I'm not all the way there. Let's just say I'm not all the way there.
I don't even think you're half the way there. I think you're truly agnostic.
I ask, what do you think God looks like? Anywhere from an indescribable flash of pure energy to Alanis Morissette. What do you think?
It's interesting that you brought that up because I've been doing a watercolor series of what God looks like to me. And what he looks like, and this is, people aren't going to believe this, but he looks like, I'm still trying to come up with the joke. Haven't got the joke yet. Still looking.
You were on a fucking solid base, though, because it was almost believable.
It really was, right?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, watercolor series.
Right. Yeah, I could see that.
I think I think he looks like, this is going to freak people out. I think he looks like me.
Yeah.
I think he was made in my image. I don't know if that's right or wrong or.
Honestly, it's as good as any theory.
You're true that.
I'm just glad as a heathen I didn't have to answer that.
No, you didn't. But you could if you want. Oh, well, you know what he looks like. Oh, did I ever tell you the thing? And then he was going on the sand, and then I said, what's the deal with the sand? And then I said, where were you? He goes, the whole time I was riding on your back. You were giving me a piggyback ride. Isn't that the way it goes?
Something like that.
M.O. Marks. Hi, M.O. Says, my husband says I only like fun music. I find myself singing songs with only the slightest cue, a turn of phrase, a name, etc. Perhaps you'll be pleased to know that I caught myself singing along with the question sting last week. Nice work, Josh.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad to be part of your earworm collection. And I'm very much the same way, that anything can trigger a song, and it will be there for a long time until the next song is triggered.
There's a very excellent article in the New Yorker, which used to be a good magazine until they had that article about the Shane Gillis.
Right.
But it's about Bob Dylan.
Andy Kindler's media grudges.
And it's about Bob Dylan. And it's about Bob Dylan, just how he explains there in this one thing is like he always has some song. It doesn't even matter if it's good or bad. He always has a song like in his mind that's going.
As do I.
And then that can develop into one of his own songs.
Yeah, that's where that's the off ramp that doesn't occur for me.
Now, why horrible songs you can't get out? I know it's an earworm thing, so I guess someone already figured that out.
Well, it makes you think maybe they aren't that horrible a song if they can get in there like that.
I've been singing, and I don't know if this is a racist song, but I've been singing, Mama's little baby loves shortening, Mama's little baby loves shortening bread. Put on the skillet, put on the bread. That's all I got. Put on the skillet, put on the bread. Mama's going to make a little. And it sounds racist to me.
Yeah, it is. But
why is it racist?
Because it's usually.
It's an Aunt Jemima thing.
It's the mama is who. Yeah.
Mama's little baby.
But I learned it from Alan Sherman on an Alan Sherman record, which was Mama's little baby loves lots of matzah. Mama's little baby loves matzah balls. Mama's little baby loves lots of matzah, lots of matzah,
matzah balls.
Hold the chicken, hold the bread, hold anything made of Pesach or something. I don't remember.
I can't believe I haven't. You know, I don't know why I can't believe you have a much deeper knowledge of Alan Sherman, because I think I only know the one hit record, Harvey and Sheila Harvey and something like that.
That wasn't even his biggest record at all. That was on.
Okay, so I think I know too.
That was on his third album, My Son the Celebrity. But my parents had My Son the Folk Singer and My Son the Nut, which were his two biggest.
Dave, where's David Susskind? Shut up. Don't you talk. Don't you talk. I love that.
Little one. David Susskind. Shut up.
Shut up.
Don't you talk. Don't you talk, little David. Yeah, that was also on My Son the Celebrity. In the Sticks and Stones section.
What do you think his problem was, Susskind? Is a little. Was he from the time period where he was just a character?
Yeah, I think he decided pompous and arrogant was going to be his thing. I think.
Yeah, because he's like an evil Phil Donahue, maybe.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a more accusatory.
Right.
Tweet is back.
Tweet,
He says, did we already do Dan Wade what? If we haven't used it, I claim it. Well, Dan Wade himself used Dan Wade what?
He did not. Wait, what?
He did. He put it in his Twitter name was Dan Wade what?
I think, though, the fact that tweet greatness recognizes greatness tweet. That's what's happening.
That's parallel development tweet. That's not stealing.
And we are only 1/12 the way into with the questions. Seth Dick III says, everyone says the key to good bagels is the water you use. Well, this may be controversial, but have you tried the bagels made with Camp Lejeune water? Distinctly delicious. I don't like any jokes about, this is a deadly serious thing. I mean, and I'm telling you, Josh,
yeah,
for your own goddamn good,
right?
If you have been to Camp Lejeune or anywhere near it,
that's why
the years.
That's why I went through basic.
Isn't it basic like a Microsoft thing?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
How come when I do it, it seems disgusting? When I try and do the
how come when I do it, it sounds disgusting?
No, it's whoa. Oh.
Jason, made with real cheese Parton, says, I shit you not, On Monday, I was planning on sending a tweet in about the mayonnaise jar on Funkin' Wagnall's front porch. On Tuesday, I listened to the show and Andy brings it up anyway. Anyway, are there plans for Thought Twitter since the takeover?
I just want to say that I speak for both of us when I say I am couldn't be more pleasantly surprised by the Elon. First of all, you always lay off. I think you do lay off 75% of your staff if you do want to try to engineer the midterms for the Trump people. What is he thinking over there? We don't need to know what he's thinking.
I think primarily what he's thinking is, oh fuck, I spent $44 billion on this piece of shit.
I think it's a failure for him, right?
Oh God, it's gonna be. He's gonna collapse it. He's gonna crash it into the mountain.
And it's like, I can't believe he's lasted this long. Is it because he has spaceships? Is that why?
Spaceships and cars, yeah.
Yeah. How about those?
No, the thing about Elon Musk is I do believe he wants to save the human race. I just think he wants to do it without humanity still attached.
I love his polls.
Yes.
That's the best way.
Yes.
Am I right about the situation, or are the others right?
I ask the people following me.
People follow me. Oh, is that what does he limit?
No, I'm just...
Tweets back.
Wow.
Tweets back.
Tweet. Cool your jets. Let me just say. Cool your jets.
Guys, thoughts on the work of Harvey Pekar? I thought we've covered it. I love him. I love everything about him. I was a huge fan of his. I even had his phone number, but I never called him up. But he might be my favorite writer. That might be my favorite thing is
American Splendor.
Yes, thank you.
I love American Splendor. I didn't do a lot of deep diving into his work, but I loved him on Letterman and I loved American Splendor, and my kid had his phone number too.
Did he call?
He never did, no.
Wow. If you get the one, if people want to get the anthology where it's Robert Crumb is doing all the does all the
art,
drawing, art, and it's the one where I think I'm mixing them up, but those are great. They're all great because he works with great artists. All of the artists he works with are great. So I'm like what is it called when you're a homer? I'm a homer.
Yeah. Fanboy is what we call that now.
No, you don't have to make it worse. I like my banter today. Very happy with it. Is it me?
I'll do it. Wookie Talkie says, Andy, I'm intrigued by the concept of Paramount Plus. How would you change their mountain logo to really feel the plus part of it? Would you put something up at the top? More mountains everywhere? A cookie at the top? A ladder at the top?
I think it's the thing about Paramount Plus that people don't realize is that they literally don't have any programming now. They're asking you to invest that in the future, if they get a lot of these monthly things, they could buy some. What do they have? You have Paramount, I bet.
I don't, no. I have no idea what they have. They have all the Star Trek stuff. They have the Paramount Library. They have some shows. I think that Godfather show about the making of the Godfather.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Magnolia Channel never took off. What do you think about? I don't even know what the logo looks like.
I think it's just a Paramount logo with a plus on it.
Stephen Elton Yates says, "Hey Andy, in case you missed it, Jelvis made a Stanley Tools joke in the middle of your reminiscence about bus driver Stanley." I did miss it.
You did miss it, yes.
And what was the joke?
I believe it was you were talking about how great Stanley is and how you could count on Stanley. And I said, Stanley, he wants to help you do things right.
I would not have got that reference. I don't even know that reference.
You didn't. True enough.
No, is that a national
Stanley,
commercial?
We want to help you do things right.
Is that a now defunct?
No,
business,
Stanley
maybe?
Tools is very much in business.
You make it. You sound like you have a piece of it, or something.
I have several of their tools.
Can you use the funny looking ones that go like this? You go, it's like a socket. something?
A socket and ratchet, yeah.
Yeah, what do you do with those?
You would do some ratcheting.
Yeah, but like, what are you going to do on a car or something? Or are you going to do your... Is that how they take off the catalytic converters? Have you heard about
I think
the
that's
catalytic?
more of a saw thing.
Have you heard? But you've heard about it, right?
Yes, I have.
And they're stealing them for the precious metals. There's $1,000 of precious metals in catalytic converters.
Yes.
Do current cars have catalytic converters, or they change from that system?
No, they still have them, and Priuses apparently have a most accessible and valuable one, apparently.
This takes one step past. You remember we used to get upset when my in-AM FM Kenwood was stolen today. My Kenwood auto reverse cassette deck.
Right.
That means nothing compared to your. I can't start the car now.
You can start the car; it just gets really fucking loud. It sounds like you have no muffler.
Well, how about is that why I hear these cars going up and down the streets with no mufflers?
Some of them are probably that, yeah.
What are the others doing?
The others are just trying to take up space with their penises, yes.
Would you? I can't imagine one point in my life where I would be riding down the street and go, "Hey, check it out, everybody," and then your eardrums bleed. I don't get it. I feel like an old man on the lawn.
You're
off the
not. That's not you, Andy. You don't have a lawn.
Is it Wheel of Randy time? What are we doing?
Sure, it's Wheel of Randy time.
Okay.
I guess it's me. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad Schmecky McHoo is running for district attorney. I just don't appreciate getting daily fundraising texts from James Mason on his behalf.
But have you been doing that, really?
I believe in Schmecky McHoo. I feel like he's my own son. Schmecky McHoo is fighting for you. Would you match my donation with your $5, $10, $15, $20, or $300 pledge?
You know what I've had enough of, and I'm going to claim if this is not good way to get me to give more money, which I do give more money.
Yeah.
Don't say it's over. It's over. Val Demings is lost. I've been getting all those recently.
No,
the Fetterman is dead. He will die if you don't. That doesn't.
No.
Some people are going to go.
There's so many political emails with off-putting tone for me. Like, are you an active member of the Democratic Party? Click, those bullshit.
Or I can't believe you didn't see this is another one.
All right.
I can't believe you didn't see this. Did you see this? I sent this to you. Did you see it?
All right. No, at this point in the campaign, I ain't sending no more money. At this point, I feel like I'm paying for beer at the after party if I'm sending.
No, I'm sending all the way through Tuesday. Because I don't know about Josh, but I put a nice chunk of change into my candidates.
I laid out a nice chunk myself this year.
Don't try and one-up me. $60,000 I spread out.
I did substantially less than that. Nice work saving democracy with your brother's money. I wish you were laundering your brother's money into the Democratic Party. I really do.
Look, I can't help everybody, so I got to please myself. It's Tweet for Horror's back. November 2nd, it's Day of the Dead Inside. That's a funny joke. I like that.
Day of the Dead Inside. I wanted to
Day of the Dead Inside.
Yeah.
Is this really the Day of the Dead? Is the
November 2nd was, yes.
Oh.
Or at least it was this week. I can't vouch for being the second.
Oh, okay.
Sous vide.
What is... Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, no. What do you want?
Nothing.
What do you want?
Nothing.
Sous vide. Would you want sous vide?
No, you do.
All right. Ever wake and bake before sunrise? Neither had I before just now, and all I can say is this might be a cry for help. Anyway, love the show.
No, I've never smoked. I never have gotten up in the morning and smoked. I don't even... Sounds crazy to me. I don't even know how you would get the... maybe once I did.
Ah.
I don't do it as much now. Lying. I have everything under control now. I haven't had a carbon. Liar.
I don't have a wake and bake habit, but I've pretty much smoked at every point on the clock at some point in my life.
Stephen Elton Yates is back again. Andy, when do tickets go on sale for this year's Andy Biotic? I like that. Andy Biotic Tour. Or should I wait for the 2023 Andy Defamation Tour? New jokes? Not new jokes, but I will tell you this. These are new jokes. Yes, I've never heard Andy Biotic before. But I will say, after years of doing jokes, like my new website, Andy Social, I have found that Andy does go before a lot of things to make jokes. It's not as bad as Ted.
It's gotten a little anticlimactic.
Not to the point of Ted, though. Can you see what I cannot see? I looked at this picture.
Yeah.
Can you read the question and see what's there that's odd?
Jalal Nowhere Man says...
Hi, Jalal.
Says, shares a picture of Sarah Palin. And it says, what do you see? And what I see is what he wants me to see, which is the big fucking Iron Cross necklace that she's wearing.
Is that a Nazi thing?
It's a German thing. It's not inherently Nazi.
Oh, so...
But it's a German military thing.
She's not claiming it's a Christian thing?
I don't know what she's claiming, because it's a photo.
Also, there's something on her lower lip, but that I felt wasn't the thing. Okay, so you've solved the puzzle.
It might be that might be what he was talking about, is the thing on his lower lip. But I went right for the Nazi thing.
No, Jalal sends good stuff. Jalal, I recommend Jalal as a follow. Excellent stuff. Is it me?
Sure.
Is it me? Bandicoot B. I love that name. The Laugh Factory is doing a fakey best comedians of all time thing on their homepage. This is good. The list is 1,000+ comedians, long and random, which causes some cognitive dissonance. Joe Rogan next to Bob Hope. Here's the best one though. Any Mitch stories to share? By the way,
he says here's the best one, and it's Mitch Hedberg versus Amanda Bynes.
Amanda Bynes is not a comic.
Amanda Bynes is a comic in the Laugh Factory database, apparently.
Boy, do they have great pictures of Mitch Hedberg over there.
Yeah.
Well, I have lots of Mitch stories to share. I won't tell them all now, but I loved him. I thought he was the greatest. And we've talked about him before, right?
Yeah, but do you have an actual story?
Well, one thing that was that he was. No, I have to work on this. Is this going to be a boring story? I remember when when Pat and I would write the newsletter in Montreal every summer. He would hang around, and he was just always funny. He was just always like the funniest. He was the greatest person at a party because he was always mellow and. Yeah. It's not a good story, I guess.
And on drugs, really, is what I think was what you were feeling. That was the kinship you were feeling.
God, unbelievable with you. Christopher Citro says, "Oh, do you have anything?"
I have no Mitch Hedberg stories.
But I love him, and he's still one of the greatest comics of all time. Christopher Citro says, "We closed out Halloween this year with Young Frankenstein. Inga, werewolf. Dr. Frankenstein, werewolf." I think you should do this because I don't know. Please do it for me. I'm sorry. I apologize.
He sampled a little piece of dialogue from Young Frankenstein where Inga goes, werewolf. Dr. Frankenstein says, werewolf? Igor says, there. Frankenstein, what? Their wolf. Their castle.
Favorite moments from Mel Brooks films? Any good Mel Brooks stories you've heard? Well, I think he's hilarious when he goes on talk shows and stuff.
I've heard all of Mel Brooks's stories pretty much now.
Right. Because he's, yes.
No, I mean, I met him a few times when I was working on the Sony lot, and he had an office there, and he was, if you engaged him, he was very engaging, Right.
Which is a pleasure in a way, right?
Absolutely. No. You're standing there, and Mel Brooks is literally trying to entertain you. So it was definitely thrilling, the first few times, but then it becomes like his Cary Grant story.
That's the one about going out to lunch with Cary Grant every day?
Yes, where he's all excited, and then Cary keeps calling, and then by the end he's ducking Cary Grant's calls.
Yeah, I think Mel Brooks is hilarious, but I don't really love the films as much as people do. I loved the producers.
Yeah.
and I like some of Blazing Saddles, but I just don't gravitate. I haven't even seen Spaceballs. Young Frankenstein's great.
Spaceballs is where it went off the rails.
Yeah.
But if you go producers, Young Frankenstein, High Anxiety, History of the World Part 1, I'm sure I'm missing at least one.
I love The 1,000-Year-Old Man. I can listen to that often.
But Spaceballs is where he officially became sort of out of touch.
Yeah. Yeah, and because I don't think he realized that he had a danger of going broad anyway.
Well, he was always incredibly broad. But the problem with Spaceballs is that it was literally 10 years too late to make fun of Star Wars.
It was about Star Wars.
Yes.
I didn't even get that. In other words, it'd be like him coming out with Star Trek.
Yes. Now.
Oh, but a wonderful man. And, if you want to listen to something that's great, is the Mark Maron interview with Mel Brooks is really funny.
That's where he tells him, I told you, Carl he's about 80%, right?
That's right. I'm going to tell you that he's going to be about 80%. And then he calls after the interview. Was I right? 80%? And he's maybe 85.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I have not been listening to I don't listen to anything. I've listened to every Mark Maron show. I just don't listen to as much podcasts anymore. But
I have not listened in a long time to his show for some reason.
Well, it's just so many shows, but he's still the greatest.
I'm also sick of comics in general. So.
Right. And when his show started, that's all I wanted to hear about was comics.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it was all these stories you'd never. Q-Box says, Josh, in the last show, you said you don't get enthusiastic about anything. Do you ever regret this? Would you like to lose yourself in the moment more? Similarly, Andy, do you ever wish you could not get so upset by politics? Well, I'll answer that one first. Yes, I do wish I could not get... Absolutely. Every time I get upset, I wish I couldn't.
All right. And I'd like to clarify. I don't think I said I don't get enthusiastic. I don't get fanatical about anything. It was sort
That's
of more
exactly what you said.
But yeah, no, absolutely. And it's not something I say proudly at all. I have like a total inability to have abandon that's how I see it. And absolutely, I don't think it's an attractive quality in me. I just think it's a inherent uptightness that I have that I, can rarely shake. I can shake it. I can shake it playing music sometimes. I can shake it on stage once in a while. That's when I'm at my best, probably.
And when you're
having sex.
No. Thought spiral.
No, but
when you're doing thought spiral,
they know better. They've heard it.
Okay, sorry. But I definitely wish.
But you can hear my abandon sometimes when I'm doing like an impression or something.
Oh yeah, Cotton Candy Lady.
I'm more likely to have abandon in character than I am as me.
Yes, that's true. But that's true of many.
I think that's
many
true.
of our
Absolutely.
favorite comedians. Yes. That's how you take off. Oh, I sound like an idiot more and more. Neff says, greetings, gentlemen. If you could hire any currently active bands to play at your birthday party, who would it be? I'd have Black Thought open and have the New Pornographers headline. That's a pretty edgy alternative thing. Thanks for the laughs. Neff in Texas. I would have Bob Dylan. I would love to have Bob Dylan.
I'll be right there at your fucking birthday party. Yeah.
This is the type of thing.
Good gig. Yeah.
I've been listening to you.
I think you deserve a voice of a generation at your fucking birthday party.
I've been a fan of yours since.
Oh, who the fuck hasn't? Who hasn't?
Yeah, but I really get the stuff that you do. Like, the tracks.
You're like a soulmate to me.
I didn't even mind it when you got born again. I had no problem with that.
I don't care.
You had a very funny sound to your voice there. I don't care. Oh, that's lovely.
I would probably have They Might Be Giants.
That would be a good party.
Third Jew says, was there a more dramatic moment in TV history than when Richie Cunningham, about to give in to Mr. C's disapproval of his all-grown-up mustache, went upstairs, raised a pair of scissors to his face, and then stopped? Also, the Dr. Jew story was 100% true.
I don't know. You're gonna have to hit me to this because I never watched the show.
Yes, there was a more dramatic moment than that. I could off the top of my head, Henry Blake, see you Japan. Okay. And I
spun in.
I believe the Dr. Jew story. I question the spelling of Jew, J-Y-U. But if you're sticking with it, then I'll buy it 100%.
Is it 100%? What does it mean?
He said his friend had a problem. He's going to go see Dr. Jew about it. And before he could correct him, he explained it's Chinese.
Oh, okay. See, well, that's a true story.
See, steel trap over here.
K-Pants, I'm going to just, you can't stop me. K-Pants says, Andy and Josh, I recently heard Penn Jillette's voiceover work on a few TV ads for NFL games. What would be your dream product to lend your voiceover talents? And your pitch? Aside from Thunderbird and its unusual flavor, of course. I would like to do a lot of weed. I'd like to do weed voiceovers. Come on down to the cannabis man today. Buy an eighth of pot, get a free eighth.
65 milligrams of THC.
Hey, ladies, I'm sativa dominant in the sheets.
I would happily lend my voice to many a product.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't. I'm not. Have you said that you're not available or something?
No, I have not. I wouldn't pull a Hollywood Squares on a whole bunch of.
God, every time I hear it, I get sick. Julian Valentich.
This is J. Elvis Weinstein for Dangerous Baby Toys.
Hey, Mr. Mainway, what's the matter, Jane? The kids love it.
It's
the
a bag of glass.
Julian Valentich. I hope I'm saying that.
I think, as far as we're concerned, that's how you say it.
Hey, guys, thoughts on Kyrie Irving's suspension? I think it was a good idea to suspend him. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing was certainly clumsily handled, but it's just sort of it's a real indicator of how anti-Semitism, and let's be honest, it's anti-Jewish, is really what we're talking about here.
Yeah, why do they say Semitism?
Because that's what it's been called historically, but
yeah.
But all that phrase does now is open you up to some bullshit argument about.
Semites are.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're talking about anti-Jewish here. And, I think Kyrie Irving is, like the most dangerous kind of idiot, who does, I think, really believe he's a truth seeker, but doesn't have any critical thinking skills somehow.
No.
And so, I mean, he did finally apologize, like an actual apology post suspension, and I think, he should have a way back to the NBA from this, but I also think, it really shows that anti-Semitism or anti-Judaism is like a second-class hate crime in this country.
Right.
Because the amount of, like, NBA players, for example, who speak up on this is chillingly silent, But,
you mean like they didn't speak out against him?
No, the NBA itself did, and the team did, but you don't see a lot of NBA players saying shit about it,
Oh.
And I don't, I've seen a lot of arguments of like, I wish people, I wish people said this much when black people, and it's like, we have a lot of racism in this country, but we do not have a shortage of conversation about race in this country. We have we have a shortage of productive conversation about race.
Yes, no, but
it's not like it's not like we don't talk about it.
Right. But I do get the point of that there's so much inherent racism that was just in regular broadcasting and everything.
Absolutely,
that wasn't addressed.
No. And I'm not at all trying to minimize or take one away, but I don't think that that this whataboutism argument that I've seen a lot of doesn't work in this case.
No, because it's like, we all have problems with the Jews. I get it. Yeah. I've been on his side of, not to this extent, but I've been on his side of,
No, I'm right. I didn't do anything wrong. Why, am I responsible for it?
I don't own the thing. And when you're in that mode, it's a loser.
Yeah. Yes. That's true.
I've done it myself. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Mike Wilner says, "Hey guys, I appreciate the shout out last week. It even got me a follow from Sous Vide, which I'm assuming is a good thing. But you could have mentioned the name of the podcast." Well, I did earlier today. So
What did you mention it?
I did.
What was the name of it?
Don't make me go back because I have to.
From
go
left
back
field.
for it. From
left field.
All right, there you go.
It's not from left field.
What is it?
It's from left field. Left field. Hey, I left the. You know what? This is the kind of promotion.
It's called Deep Left Field.
Deep left field. That's because that's where I sat when I watched the Mets in the fourth game. Chaotic news. Ooh, look at. Are you kidding me? First of all, does your Twitter make that sound?
No, not on my laptop, at least.
I hate it. Hey guys, Chaotic Neutral, which I still love that name.
Yeah.
Hey guys, ever try weighted blankets? They feel like very heavy blankets. I have not tried them, but I do believe they work for people who have that problem.
Light blanket syndrome?
No, I don't know exactly what it is. It's like a restless leg or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't. It's not something I want, but I understand why I understand that the comfort it could give someone, I guess.
Well, there's an actual theory behind it. I'm so asleep that I'm actually. And finally, do the final question, Chad. I'm already warming up for how you're going to hang up on me. So,
all right.
And I hope you don't do it in some hack way, like it's like I wish you would at some point work on it a little bit.
Greg Kelly says, "What does the future hold?"
Now, this would be. You got a problem with me, Sandler? Ba boom.